What's up guys, and welcome to a let's build in the tutorial world of Minecraft. There's this segment of a Mesa biome that's got this kind of wall around it, and it's just this big empty space in there. So I thought, why not put something in there? So I built a little village. I'm starting off here with a fire pit, just really simple. I made the hole a little bit more round. I put staircase around it to kind of act as either seats or step down to the fire pit area. And then I'm kind of going back and forth a lot, trying to decide what I want to do with it, where I want to take the build, because this was kind of on a whim. I just got the idea. So here I'm just emptying out this grass, and I'm putting a more used looking terrain, like people have been walking there or standing there for a long time. So I use a mixture of gravel, the compacted dirt, and then I believe sand, just normal red sand. And that kind of gives a few different textures, just so it kind of breaks it up a little bit, which is really important in a build like this, especially one that's so big. You want to make sure you're just not staring at a bunch of the same stuff. So I take the torches and light up some of the fence on the outside as well, break the ones I don't like, move them around, tweak them a little bit. It's really important that you play with it a lot. You know, you figure out what you want to do and figure out if what you're doing is going to be the final result. Here I'm just digging out the gouges for the pathways. There's not really a whole lot to tell in the pathways, so I've edited out most of the building of that. But I want you to see that when I'm breaking out the path, I'm not doing it in any kind of particular order. I'm just kind of breaking it out, making it look like just a pathway. So a lot of it is not edited in, so I edited out all the parts of me filling it in. This part up here on the hill, I just wanted to add a little spiral, just to kind of give it something different. So I'm still working on the paths here, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to use for the paths, but in the end I decide to use the same materials as everything else. These bricks I'm placing are plans where I want something to go. So it doesn't matter if it's a house or like the fire pit, something will go there. So it just kind of fills in the empty space. And then here's where I'm doing the path, and most of it's filled in now. But it was kind of boring and tedious to leave all that in, so I just took it all out because once I've dug out the path, you can see where it's going to be filled in. And there's not a pattern or particular order you need to learn to do it. You just place them, and it'll look kind of more organic the less you think about it. So just don't think about it, and just do it. So here I'm building a house. Now I'm going to have about 4 of these, but they're all going to be built in the exact same kind of style, and even the same layout. So I'm only really going to go over one. So I built the walls, I built the roof with the staircases, really simple. And then I used a few different ideas. I was trying to think of maybe a hay roof, maybe that would look better. But I decided to just use the wood from the savanna biome. Not the savanna. Was it savanna? I think so. Acacia, something wood like that. But it kind of matches the color palette, the orange kind of feel to it. So that's why I used that particular kind of wood. And then in here, I'm just filling it in. And I decided to leave this spot open, because if it's a hut in a very warm area, you're going to want some air ventilation. So I end up adding more windows too, as well on the outside of it. This is me just detailing a little bit with different textures, different kinds of sandstone. And then I also use half slabs and staircases to give it a little bit more detail. Give it a little bit of a damaged look, because it's supposed to be an old rundown village. And then that's pretty much it for the house. So moving on, I wanted to build another kind of social area. So I'm just building an overhang, like a tent. That way if it's raining, I don't know why it would rain in this particular environment, but if it were to rain, they would have somewhere covered to kind of stand and still gather and all that. If they didn't want to sit by the fire pit, maybe they wanted to be in the shade. So this is just kind of a simple canopy with sticks and all kinds of stuff like that. So I fence it in just a little bit, just to kind of give it a torch lighting place. And then I, on the outside, make it look more damaged by breaking up the stuff and then adding half slabs where some of the stairs go. Just make it look weathered and used and old. It's a really nice effect. And again, it just goes back to the whole, don't think about it too much, just kind of do it and it'll look more natural. So here I'm just making it look more textured on the underneath side before I fill in the part underneath with the same materials as I did for the pathway to make it look like people have just been walking through there. Really nice kind of effect, and it works really, really well. I did a little bit more dirt there than usual. Here was a little bit tricky. I don't know if you saw it for that split second. I looked down in the well and thought, well, if that's the only water source, why would they want to settle down here? So I actually built a little enclosed wall here, like another segmented off thing, but I wanted to add more to the inside of it, that it was more natural. So instead of just a bunch of houses and things like that, I actually built this little waterfall in here, and I'm trying to mimic the wall that it's already there. So I'm more adding on to what's already here, but just building stuff inside of it. And it's a lot of fun because it gives me kind of a goal, and I feel really accomplished afterwards because you can just see how much better it is from where it started. So here I'm trying to figure out exactly what are the details I want, and I think I thought about it too much because it's just it took a little bit longer than it should have. So again, just don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. Just place them, forget about them, walk off, and it'll look more organic. And then I am mimicking the same with the smooth stone and the other rough stone look to mimic the wall that's already there, just so it looks like it blends in more. And then this I didn't want because the waterfall is going to come out of that wall. So I'm sitting here planning it out, figuring out where it's going to be, and then I just use the same materials I've been using to fill in the underneath part of the water. Even though you probably won't be able to see it very well, it just gives it a nice little touch. And then I just add the water, fill it in, make it look like a little lake or a little water source. Now here I'm just adding the farms, just really simple, standard vanilla farms, just with the acacia wood. That was it, it's called acacia wood, okay. So I added a melon farm and a wheat farm and a carrot farm, because I mean everything else here is orange, so their food should be orange too. So I just hoe that ground, add some pumpkin and melon stuff, bone meal them so they'll start growing, and then for here I just make a wheat and carrot farm. And I put the lily pads over so people can't step in the water, and the items can't fall in the water either, I don't think, through the lily pads. And if they can, that blows my logic out of the water, but I think it just keeps people from falling in, so it works a little better. And I plant it, and then that's done.